decided to get out the Chelsea hat today, but we're not going to be talking about whatever is going on at Chelsea with their 10,000th transfer today, but instead, we're going to be talking about Sunderland, who seem to be doing what Chelsea's trying to do, but a lot more successfully, at least based off the past three games. In the past three games, they've won three, beat Sheffield Wednesday 4-0, and just beat Burnley 1-0. Burnley, who were in the Premier League last year. However, this may seem just like a regular thing, Teams hit hot streaks. Teams in the Championship are pretty good. Sometimes they get promoted, sometimes they get relegated, So what makes Sunderland so special? Well, what makes Sunderland different is that they're basically all teenagers. Again, they're like Chelsea, but actually doing it correctly. The most high profile of which, Joe Bellingham, the younger brother of Jude Bellingham, which Jude is already 20, Job is like 19 or something. But he isn't the only teenager. Heck, he's far from it. Up top they have Mayenda, who I think is 19. I have the lineup pulled up right next to me, but I don't know their ages, but I think I remember them. Rig is pretty young as well. Muddell and Roberts are also very young. They're all under the age of 25, I think. Rig and Muddell are both 21 or under. Neil, who plays next to Bellingham, I think is 20. And then in their back line, they also have a bunch of youngsters. They have 20, 21-year-olds. Their oldest player in their entire starting 11 is, I believe, O'Neill, who's 29 years old. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, their goalkeeper is Patterson, a dude named Patterson, who's only 24, which is extremely young for a goalkeeper. And all of this regularly, when you have a team this young or made up of this many young players, they're going to struggle. You give them a couple years, they do well. However, this team has hit the ground running. 3 games on the bounce, with increasingly high odds seeming to get promoted this year. Of course, it's only the first 3 games. They could easily lose every single other game and get relegated. But it's looking like they can get promoted. Of course, when you get promoted, you have to sell off a lot of your young talent, and a lot of these talents are only in there on loan. However, it's a lot easier to buy players in on loan than people think. I mean, regularly when you're loaning in a player from a Premier League squad, it's regularly a somebody from the youth team, which means that if the Premier League squad can sell them off, that's pure profit, which is very important nowadays due to all the PSR rules and stuff, all those crazy stuff. I mean, we see this with Amari Hutchinson. I mean, young breakthrough player at Chelsea, moved to Chelsea for $5 million 2 years ago, was loaned out to Ipswich. Then Ipswich got him for $30 million because it was basically pure profit for Chelsea, even though Amari Hutchinson is probably worth a good amount more than $30 million. I think that's going to be proven this season. But with a lot of these players, when they get promoted, they're going to probably easily be able to get them in for 10, 15 million, which if they get promoted, they're going to have a lot more money due to the Premier League, just the natural Premier League influx of cash. So they're going to be able to bring in these players for pretty cheap, and then the ones who they actually own right now, they could sell off for high profit to clubs that are similar level to them inside the Premier League. Teams like Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Leicester, Ipswich, or Southampton if they survive. Or they could probably sell them off to mid-table teams over in La Liga, Bundesliga. Gladbach is regularly happy to take young players from England for pretty good fees. and they can reinvest that into either older players or more young players, because it seems like their recruitment prospect is pretty good. All this to say is that this is a crazy situation. We got to keep an eye on this throughout the entire league. I mean, if they can somehow get promoted with this young squad, they have the foundations to become a Premier League mainstay, probably a lot like Brighton, buying up young players, then probably selling them off to Chelsea or Man United for $100 million. So, yeah. What's going on with this? This is crazy.